morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Coffee and Contemplation brought to you by Spotlight Recovery. I'm your host, Lucas. It is February 18th, 2024. Today we're going to be reading a reflection I found in the Hazelton Field Guide to Life app. And this reflection is called Take It Easy. So I encourage you to follow along, read with us, and let's get into it. So, take it easy. Today I will do one thing. Use this slogan to remind you that your task is to take life one small step at a time. Don't allow yourself to start worrying about tomorrow, next week, or next month. Don't become impatient. Change happens day by day, not overnight. Give yourself credit for the small steps you take every day to work on your recovery. At this point in recovery, you may notice that you are being more honest with others and more open and willing to put your recovery and spirituality ahead of everything else in your life. Action for the day. Identify some of the small daily challenges you have made that benefit your recovery. Give yourself a lot of credit for these small steps. Each day's effort helps you build healthy routines that move you towards your goals. And thought for the day. Faith, positive thinking, and patience can move mountains. I pray that I may be more accepting of myself and others and trust and rely more on my higher power for guidance. I like this a lot. I think there's a lot of really good reminders in here. A lot of that really stands out for me. That's cool. I like how it starts. I like that initial messaging on doing one thing. It's... Some days recovery can feel really overwhelming, especially if you're earlier on having a really triggering bad or hard time or something. Just the thought of staying sober for one day can be a lot. Or then if you're farther on, then you've built a life in recovery, and then having to do work or family stuff plus recovery, other volunteering, seeing friends. It just, you build a life, you get all these things back that you've worked towards, and then that can seem really overwhelming. So I really like that mentality of just you know what? I'm just going to do one thing. I'm going to focus and start with one thing today. And if I accomplish that thing today was a good day. And really for all of us who are striving for long-term recovery, that baseline thing should always be staying sober. If I use again, oh my God, this house and everything you see here, sure, it looks really nice. It won't look nice when it's on fire. So all that will go. I cannot ever use again safely. Good Lord, no. So that is my one thing, my one baseline thing that I should be doing every day. And another thing that I like with this reflection is it helps for all of us cross-addicted workaholics. That would be me too. Just that reminder of okay, you know what? Pick one thing off your mega to-do list. You do that, good day. And just with the reminders it talks about, don't worry about tomorrow, don't worry about next day, month, whatever, the future. It's just, not only is it not promised, there's no point in rushing off into something that's not going to affect your day and your moment. And I'm not saying don't future plan, right? Don't hope and build for all of these things, or do work today that's going to set you up for tomorrow. It's not saying don't do any of those things. For me, I hear it saying focus on the one thing you do have to do today. Shift the focus to that instead. It's just so in line with that adage of yesterday, today, and tomorrow, which I'm sure you've heard a lot if you're around recovery meetings. It's so important. And so just focusing on today, the one thing, that's a really good reminder for me. It's something I really like. Actually, I've got something on my desk right here. I got this at Walmart of all places. And it's okay to not do everything. Really important reminder. I have it in my face every day for that exact reason, or else I will work myself into faceplant again, and that's not good. No. So anyway, there's that first section that I really like. And then action, and then it says, okay, here's the concept. Now let's get into action on that right away. And this is kind of more of like a reflective action, which is cool. So take a look at some of the small things you have done or are doing and give yourself a lot of credit. Not just, oh, a little pat on the back or something. Like, recovery is not easy. Sobriety is not easy for real addicts like us. If it was, the success rates would be incomparably higher, and we wouldn't have an opioid crisis. Really, it's just an addictions crisis in general. We wouldn't all know somebody who's lost their lives because of this disease. Okay, so doing this is a massive accomplishment, and you should always be so proud of yourself for doing this and for doing this work. So if you're watching this and you're doing it, good for you. Be so proud of yourself. Give yourself a lot of credit, because it is a lot. It is really hard, and I don't know if non-addicts fully understand. We do. I do. It speaks my language. So take a look at the changes you've made in your recovery and give yourself a lot of credit for them. Give yourself that pat on the back. Make it the thing you do today. Or maybe it's trying something new you want to do for your recovery today. There's another great one as well. And then we was talking about before and like not worrying about and getting anxious of the future and anything. It's true. And doing these little things day by day are then can what help build that future, build that life you want, build you towards your goals, right? It says it again earlier. This doesn't happen overnight. So these are the little steps and things that you make, the little actions you take to get building towards these things. So do them, pick them, be proud of them. Pardon me. And then the last thought for the day. Then what I like about that is then it roots back into having trust and faith in your higher power concept of whatever that is, yourself, others, especially, other people in recovery or other people in your support system, for guidance on how to get through this, right? So it's, you decide the thing you want to do today that's going to be for your recovery. You set out to do it. Make sure you do. That's your number one thing for the day. Give yourself a lot of credit for doing that thing to help you stay sober and build your life in recovery. And know that you have other people, other things in your world to help guide you on this. It's not all up to you. You don't have to figure it out by yourself. All the weight's not on you. Yes, you need to do the work. Do the work, carry your own water. What is going on? Whew, pardon me. But you have all that support and guidance around you, so you're not completely by yourself when you do this. So there you go. That's what pops out for me with this reflection. I thought that was great. I really like that one a lot. So please put your reflection down in the comments. What stands out for you on that? Share what came up for you. Please. I mean, the more community contribution we get, the better out of this. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this reflection, and also your share could help somebody else. And remember, that's the whole point of this thing. Okay? So please do that, and then check out the description. We've got all other kinds of ways to interact with the channel. There's a lot of other self-help tips, recovery coaching, podcast, and myself as well. I do private recovery coaching with folks. So if you're resonating with what I'm talking about, please send me an email, lucas@spotlightrecovery.com, and we'll see if I can help you further along your journey. Be another one of those guiding forces that reflection talked about to helping you build that life and the recovery you want. Okay, so check them all out in the description. Don't forget all the YouTube things. Like, subscribe, share it with folks if you found this helpful. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you again tomorrow.